Good evening and welcome to our Manifesto Talk on this Thursday evening with myself, Grant Claassen, your mayoral candidate for the City of Cape Town local government election 2021. I am so glad to be with you tonight just to share a bit of our manifesto with you tonight. So please, if you are tuning in, we ask you to tag everybody so that this message can go far and wide. On this program on a Thursday night, we are also going to invite all of our mayoral candidates all over South Africa in the different municipalities to come and speak, and also our party leader will make his appearance. So please, exciting times ahead, and we are really and truly excited to be with you and to share our manifesto talk or our manifesto with you in these segments to come. Now, quickly, our manifesto, it is our 7 non-negotiables. We understand as Ara that only 13% out of 287 municipalities are operating and are functional. And we also understand that we are the party, the robust party that is needed to deal with these injustices in these municipalities. And when you look at 13%, it is a shocking number. And those are things that plague our people of South Africa, even when it comes to our local communities. And so we have put together the 7 non-negotiables that Ara is not going to negotiate on. So many people ask us why only 7, because that is our focus point for this local government election. And further on, people ask us why Africa restoration, when are you going to Africa? We say South Africa first. And so that's very important to note tonight, that we only will deal with the 7 non-negotiables for now. So just to go through our 7 non-negotiables again, the first one is access to superior hospital care and service delivery, which we are very passionate about. The second one is our low electricity bills and water bills as well. The third one is the taxi protection program we want to put in place. The fourth one is to create 50 to 150,000 jobs per province immediately. Then the fifth one, superior community and city policing. The sixth one is land equity for cleaner cities and to eradicate the housing crisis we're sitting with. And number 7, which I'm also passionate about, is our crime-free schools. Now, in the city of Cape Town, we are plagued with various, I'm talking about all across the 160 wards, we are plagued with various ills that people are facing. And I want to talk about a couple of these things that's taking place. The first one we are talking about is the access to superior hospital care and service delivery. And it is atrocious for our people to get up in the morning at 3 o'clock, get to a healthcare facility at 5 o'clock, sit at that healthcare facility from 5 o'clock, only to come out after 2 o'clock the afternoon, even sometimes after 5 o'clock. Now, this means that there is job losses for the day. This means it's time wasted for the day. And tell me, what person that's not well wants to sit in a place and wait for healthcare? It is atrocious that our people have to wait for the most for the most critical care that they should receive at a point of need. And that's one of the things that we're very passionate about. And we're talking about service delivery. So the plan to upgrade our hospitals, the plan to upgrade our clinics, and this, it's all in place, and it can be done very swiftly and very quickly. The second or the part of the first one that we want to talk about tonight, it's our service delivery. Now, I don't know if you saw over the city of Cape Town at this moment, if you are living in the city of Cape Town, there's a lot of projects that's taking place now. Roads are being resurfaced, retarred, places are being cleaned up. I had a conversation with somebody. She said last night at 4 o'clock she sent in a service request for a wheelie bin. One of the wheelie bins got stolen, and this morning 9 o'clock a miracle took place. The city of Cape Town delivered a new wheelie bin. Now that never happens. And when you look across the city of Cape Town, it looks like service delivery just jumped a notch higher, 2 notches higher. The concern with that, however, is why is it when it only comes to election time that service delivery has been elevated and people actually get service delivery? Nowadays, everything is running on par because we are going to to the polls on the 1st of November. My question to the City of Cape Town is, why are these things not done on a regular basis? The Mayor of Cape Town has made a public statement and saying that if a service delivery request is not dealt with within 24 hours, that the public have access to his emails, to send him an email to his office, and he will himself make sure that that service delivery request has been fulfilled. And we can say with confidence that it have not taken 24 hours, taken 48 hours, sometimes 3 days, 4 days for service requests to actually be executed. And that is a problem. So it's not that the city cannot do it. The city is proving right now before election it can do it. So it is within its willpower to do it. We just need more competent people that's managing the backlog of work, that is managing the line departments to actually send through those C3s and execute those C3s. And that just means that right from the top to the bottom, there have to be competent people that's sitting and dealing with these issues. The second one I want to talk to you about is the lower electricity bills. Now, our people are suffering on the Cape Flats, in the different wards, in the City of Cape Town, because of the high, it's unacceptable, the electricity charges that our people have to pay. Now, I visit homes every day, and it is so heartbreaking to see that out of a 10 rand, only 3 units is issued, which means those people do not have access to hot water, because they cannot afford simply hot water, which means they have to take baths in the afternoon when the weather is a bit warmer and so forth. Because those 3 units that last them, that is what they can afford, only last them for lights, and that is it. And we know in a gang-ridden City of Cape Town, in some of our wards, you cannot be without lights because it attracts criminal elements. So the lower electricity bills is so important for our people. I'm looking at pensioners. I'm looking at the elderly. I'm looking at people that cannot simply, the unemployed, they cannot simply afford this high electricity tariffs. And the City of Cape Town is making money off every kilowatt that's being purchased. So if the City of Cape Town was such a caring city, then the City of Cape Town should have reduced that. So as Ara, we will reduce electricity bills with immediate effect, so that our people can breathe again and restore their budgets again. There's so much that's happening. You know, the City of Cape Town has made 4.4 billion in profit with the whole water crisis story. And what we are saying simply, why is that 4.4 billion not utilized then to help with the electricity crisis? Why is cleaner electricity not bought? Why is other sources of electricity not brought in? Because those will also create jobs, but these things are not dealt with. You know, there is so much irregularities with the tender processes. I spoke to somebody, and this is an allegement that was made, that there is somebody that allegedly owns a educare center but was awarded a 8.5 million contract for doing fiber installations. And I'm saying again, it's alleged, and these things must be investigated. If it is so, why it was done so. So the tender processes is not done with confidence, it's not done with the right scrutiny, and we know there is certain irregularities that's taking place within the tender processes. Then we want to talk about superior community and city policing. Do you know every ward candidate that's standing in the 116 wards all across the City of Cape Town has got the power in their budget to put a city police officer in their ward. They can make provision for the budget to employ a city police official in there, whether it's law enforcement or metro police, and those will then help with police visibility in your ward. And our ward councillors are not tapping into that. They are not doing that. Rather, they've put up cameras, and if we didn't make a record in the one ward, Ward 92 and Ward 82, about why, because there was cameras installed. The cameras was installed for 2 years. They've been purchasing cameras, and when we asked why, where is the control room, we were sent from pillar to post because they could not find a control room. Eventually the control room was done, and only after 2 years of paying for cameras, buying cameras, servicing those cameras, that control room was established. This is totally unacceptable and cannot, because it's a waste of taxpayers' money. Then we're talking about land equity, cleaner cities. Whenever you drive around in the city of Cape Town, there is land with waste that is dumped on the lands. Whenever you drive in your poorer communities, like your Tafelsig and your Parkhoods and all of these Scottsdene and these areas, you will see that people are actually inundated with dirt laying all over the place. And what we are saying is that, why not create a cleaner city? It's very simple. Just get clean bins all over the place. Get a budget in place and put bins all over the place, and reward people in a recycling program if they can recycle their dirt. You know, those are things that is easy to do, but the city of Cape Town is not doing it. So Ara is going to do that. It's one of our commitments that we want to do. And then, very important, how do we eradicate the housing crisis? Do you know the city of Cape Town has had the amount of wastage and irregular expenditure amount more than 2 billion for the last financial years. More than 2 billion was either underspent, it was irregularly spent, or it was wastage. 2 billion. How many houses could we have not built? Do you know, on the housing crisis, we have almost 400,000 backyard dwellers in the Western Cape. Now that's a huge amount of people that's sitting without homes, and we know a home gives people identity, where they can put their head down. And this is one of the things that people are being sent from pillar to post, because it's either a national issue, and national say, well, it's a local issue, and local say, well, it's a provincial issue. And people has been put from pillar to post. We cannot have people being on the waiting list for 20 years for a house. And when eventually a house is being built, it's not a dignified place. In actual fact, the places are built without even a place for a car to park, which means government is saying, local government is saying, provincial government is, national government is saying that those houses that they are built, they do not perceive that those people will ever own a vehicle, because it's low income people. And that is the type of leadership we are sitting within the city and in the province. And 19 billion, and I know I'm throwing figures at you, 19 billion rand is sitting within the city of Cape Town in their excess, in their coffers. It's money that is sitting there. It's been sitting there for a while. Nobody spent it. It is their surplus fund that they call. Now, let me tell you something. Money that's laying is money that's wasted, because money should work. As businessmen and women, we understand money has to create, money has to work, it's got a purpose. Now, do you know, out of 19 billion, you can actually build 1 to 1,500 homes already. So you're saying to me, there's 19 billion sitting in an account, but the people that's homeless, the bylaw was passed for them, they can't be anywhere now. The people that's backyard dwellers does not have access to housing. This cannot be in the city of Cape Town. We cannot sit with this amount of money and we do nothing about to elevate the people's poverty. We're looking at crime-free schools. Let me talk to you about crime-free schools. And the reason why gangsterism is thriving. Gangsterism is not thriving in the streets. It's not thriving in our neighborhoods, but it's thriving on the schools. And I'll tell you why. You send your child to school, and I've spoken to a couple of teachers. Now, in your poorer schools, and it's amazing that the city of Cape Town, with the Western Province government, I think 2 years ago, condemned almost 30 schools. Now, if you tell me a school is condemned, that means it is poor management, incompetent leaders that could not look after the infrastructure and the management of the facility. How can you build a facility, spend millions on the facility, just to be run down by incompetent leaders? And these are the leaders that the city and the Western Province government must really look at. These are incompetent people. It costed how much money that was wasted, and how many learners had to be passed on to other schools. I've actually heard something very sad, that the more learners a school gets in, the more money it gets from the government. Now, this is a sad fact, because we're sitting with between 40 to 50 children in a classroom. Now, if you a grade R, we're a grade 1, grade 2, grade 3, primary school teacher, you know that learning is not just learning, but you also have to look after that child. Because that child is not constantly in a learning mode, he also is get distracted. How do you as teacher alone look after 50 to 55 children in the class? This cannot be. Therefore, children have lost interest in schooling. Now children get onto the high school. Children get involved in gangs because the gangs is rival at the high school. And then secondly, also our children, when they go to school, they have to defend themselves because gangs is arrived on school. I'll tell you why this is happening, because there's no security at schools. It's amazing, whatever company you go into, there's even no risk, but the owners have to see to the staff, the owner have to see to the goods to protect it, and therefore have security measures in place. There's absolutely no security measures in place on our schools. There is no law enforcement on our schools, even our dangerous schools. There's no law enforcement at all. There's nothing from the city, no Bambanani, and we cannot use walking bus members and just even Bambanani. They're not equipped to deal with these kind of issues that you're sitting with on the school. Gangsters coming on school. The other day we heard a teacher was gunned down in the school, on the school premises. This cannot be. Therefore, it is an outcry. Our children cannot go to school with knives and scissors and blades. They must protect themselves. And if they cannot handle it anymore, because psychologically a child can't handle that when he must be in a learning environment, then what does a child do? He drops out of school, sitting at home, becoming a statistic of the 40% of our unemployed youth that's sitting at home doing nothing. These are a couple of the things that's in our manifesto that we are passionate about, and we're going to zoom into this, and we're going to guarantee that when you put your mark by Ara, and some people say ARA, you know, the posh word is ARA, but it's Ara, because it's an Ara move, it's a robust move, it's something that you must grab by the horn, something that you can say, not tomorrow, I've wasted enough time, it's time to do it today. This is the robust leaders that we have put in place. This is something that cannot be like this. We cannot have our elderly suffering, we cannot have our children suffering. There's too much unemployment, too much gangsterism, too much crime-ridden areas, and we have to, as the city of Cape Town, as your mayoral candidate, with yourself, we must eradicate the ills of Cape Town. Cape Town is a beautiful place. It's a tourist attraction, but there is a dark side to it. And all the beautiful people and all the beautiful things have been left out of the dark side. We cannot make more of the lighter side and less of the darker side. There must be equality all over. What you experience in Camps Bay is what you must experience in Scottsdale. There must be clean, it must be a clean area. It must be a respected area. It must be a crime-free area. And this is the manifesto talk that we are having as Ara. So tonight I want to encourage you. It's not time for you to sit and see which political party is best for me. Ara, more than a political party, it's a movement that's taking place. And I am proud to say that we have more humanitarians in Ara than what we have politicians. Because humanitarians carry the heart of the people. Humanitarians give of themselves for the people. I'm proud to announce that we got more businessmen and women that understand economics and the concept of economics and how to make money work and how to make money grow. The city of Cape Town has got a budget of 58 billion almost. And you telling me year in and year out, we sit with the same problem, in and out. There's absolutely no plan that's been executed. Cape Town, it's time to wake up. I hope this talk has helped you, has opened up your eyes. It's time for you to make a change. I am Grant Claassen, and I am your mayoral candidate for Ara in the local government elections 2021. Vote Ara and see the difference that will come into this city. God bless you and have an awesome evening. Thank you very much.